That's me in 2019. That's also me in 2019. And now this is me 6 years later. Where did it all start? This exact product. So I made over 100k in profit with this product in around 6-7 months in my life. And I'm gonna give you guys in this video the complete rundown of how this all happened. I come from very normal, humble beginnings, born and raised in the Netherlands, Turkish background. So I'm gonna talk about the mindset shift, why and how I came there. And I'm gonna also be talking in this video about how I did it in terms of the business and dropshipping, right? And which specific way. And not only that, I'm also going to be explaining you how you can do this also in 2025. That's why I'm making this video. Because in 2019, I was just like you, watching YouTube videos, looking at all those internet guys online and trying to figure out as well, right? Who's giving the real truth? Who's actually going to give me the right information that I can just actually as well take action on and change my life and those with my loved ones also forever. So in 2019, I started dropshipping. I believed in it, even though a lot of people said dropshipping is dead. I believed in it and I still do it till this day, 6 years later. And I'm going to be doing this probably, if it's possible, for the rest of my life. That's how I make my money. That is how I live my amazing life. I'm very blessed, by the way. And when I just started with dropshipping, I tested hundreds and hundreds of products, right? Before finding this specific product, which I will also explain in this video how I found it. So I'm watching these YouTube videos, I'm seeing all those products online, and I'm like, okay, let's try this, let's try that. Is it a general store? Is it a niche store? Is it a branded store? Like, where do I start? I was trying all this shit, trying all these products. Every single time I tried on YouTube, which is quite ironic why I'm making these videos right now, right? Is that I was trying all these videos of these dropshipping gurus out there on YouTube, even in 2019, 2020, and nothing was working. And then at some point I was like, man, this shit, what the hell even is this? You know, I had found one knee brace before this product. This is a contour duplicator, by the way, for my OG viewers in here. You know this product, right? I've shared already a couple of times in some other videos, but I never went really into deep detail, which I will do in this video, how it all happened. So I was watching all these videos and none of these strategies were working. You know, even if they would share a bunch of value, nothing was working for me. So I was like, all right, they are hiding some information from me and I don't know what it is. They're hiding something. It's working for them. I'm doing the exact same. It's not working. Why? Right? Why is it not working? I was getting so pissed. I found a YouTuber, Verum Ecom. You guys can look him up. Shout out to Verum, John. We have a bunch of mutuals. I haven't met you in real life yet, but if you see me, you'll get the double espresso from me, brother. So I found this guy on YouTube, and his strategies actually worked. Facebook ad strategy worked for me, but it wasn't just only because of that. It was because I had found myself the EU arbitrage method, which I'm gonna explain you in this video, which almost nobody was doing back then. Still till this day, it's the best method for beginners to start dropshipping, in my opinion. And I mean, I tell this to everybody with as well, like taught and consulted as well in the last couple of years. I'm testing all these products online, right? And nothing is working. And then suddenly we had my brother and I, so I started my dropshipping business together with my brother in 2019, and we had one product that was working. We were selling this patella knee brace and we were making 1k to 1.5k revenue a day with maybe $100 or $200 in profit, which is nothing crazy, almost similar to what you will be making if you have a 9-to-5. So, and then I was like chilling. I was like, all right, I'm making money on my laptop, my dreams are getting fulfilled. Even though it's not crazy money, I don't have to find a 9-to-5 after that. Because just for your information, guys, like my life wasn't, I've never been poor, but I was certainly broke, right? So, and then what happened essentially is that my brother said, why don't you keep on finding more products? If you make 1.5k revenue a day with this product, why don't you look for more products so we can double the revenue and then make more money than we've ever seen in our lives? And just so you know it, my brother and I started with only 2 or 3k in our bank account in euros back in 2019. So, and then I was like, all right, you're right. So I went to the spy tool. I don't even know the name anymore, right? A spy tool where you can find the winning products for dropshipping. I saw an ad, and it was an ad of a product, and it was in somebody selling in the US market. And it had a bunch of engagement, thousands of likes, thousands of comments, shares, whatever it may be. And I didn't really think too much of it. So I was running a general store in the Dutch market. Because I'm from the Netherlands, I just started a Dutch store, right? So I do that. So I'm running the store I find this product, and the first thing that I do, instead of every single person who teaches you here to only sell in the US market, also for beginners, which I would never recommend, by the way, is you find a product that somebody's selling in the US market, and then you translate it. Back then there was no AI, right? So I was just using Google Translate. So what I did, I took his ad, literally just downloaded it from the spy tool. I didn't touch anything. I just downloaded it. I had it on my laptop, and then I took the competitor's product page, copy pasted it fully, translated it to Dutch with Google Translate, put it on my own store, and I copy pasted his ad copy, his whole ad, like the text, the video, everything. I didn't change anything, just translated it to Dutch, ran the campaign of 50 euros in a day, and the first day I had 150 euros in revenue, 3 ROAS, profit was okay. And then I looked into it and I was like, hey, I'm spending 50 euros and I'm getting like 300 to 400 clicks. The rate to my add to carts are very, very high, but people drop off and they don't buy. And I was like, maybe I priced it a little bit too high. So what happened, the product price was 24.95 euros and I dropped it with 5 euros to 19.95 euros. And then what happened the next day, with 50 euros spent, I was making 500 euro revenue. And then I knew, all right, I'm onto something. This is what people say, that you don't have to be a hard worker only. It's also about working smart. I just realized after putting in so much action, and just so you know, I tested hundreds of products. Look at my face here, guys. I tested hundreds of products. This is a picture that I made at 8:30 a.m. in office. I had an internship, so I was going to university back then in the Netherlands. I had an internship. I was making 200 euros a month maybe there, and I made a selfie in the morning because I was really dead. And this is another picture, by the way, at 3 a.m. right? This is when I think a few days after, or no, this is actually, it's funny, this is like a few days before I found my first real winning product that totally changed my life forever. And it was 3 a.m. I was here behind my desk. And by the way, this was I was sitting on here in my room. So here you have my office. So just next to the chair is my office, and here's my bed. This was how small my room was, and this is the end of my room. You see that? That is the end of my room. That's it. Here, very small. And then I looked into the Facebook ad strategy of Veromecom, and then I just doubled the budgets, and I just started making money. And before you know it, I was scaling. Look, I think even like 2 or 3 weeks later, I was making 5k euros in a day in revenue. And I was selling in the Dutch market only with Ideal and Bankcontact as the payment methods. And yeah, we were just profiting every single day around like 2k, 1.5k euros to 2k euros every single day. Which was, for me, making that amount of profit in a day is a lot of money, and it still is for a lot of people in the world. Right? For me, like, it's at this point anymore, it's nothing crazy. I'm used to making money like that right now. You know, I've been in business now for a while. I've seen the ups and downs, but for me back then, bro, this was absolutely life-changing money for me. You know, also for my family. I showed my dad, hey, look, dad, I made 5k euros of revenue a day. And he was like, son, I just made last month, I made 2.3k euros, and you're making double of it in a day. So yeah, I don't know what's going on. While most people at this point, when they hit, let's say, a 5k euro revenue a day, right? I'm going to go into the strategies also, besides just how I found the product and how, and of course, how I would do this one 2025 right now, or even if you're entering 2026, it's going to be the same strategies. What most people do when they get the W, they get complacent. So they get comfortable. And I'm like, bro, what are you even doing? You worked so hard. And then finally, when you start winning, you're gonna stop doing the things that made you a winner? What are you doing? And that's also one of the reasons. Look, guys, right now it's Sunday evening, 10 p.m. I'm recording this video right now. Here, check this. Look, guys, Sunday, 14 September, 10 p.m. I'm recording this video. 6 years later, I'm still doing this shit. Why? If you add all those small W's you can have in a day, and especially if you get your first big W, which is getting a winning product, the last thing you gotta do is stop it. Because you already put that insane grind of testing hundreds of products where you become like this, that I was back in 2020, right? I found this product, this contour duplicator, I found it back in somewhere around like March 2020, something like that, right? After 6-7 months of doing ecom. But I didn't just like was testing a few products. I was like going all in. Every single free time I had, I was just going all in. I had my exams at school. I was going to my internship, which took me at least 40 to 50 hours a week. On the weekends, I had my sales job. But I just knew if I just keep on doing something that works for somebody else, and I keep on reiterating every single time, eventually it is going to work. Because if there's one thing that I know, is that history has proven that if somebody else can do it, why can't I do it? Why can't you do it? That's pretty much it, you know? And I didn't enter this whole business game to become a millionaire, dropshipping millionaire, multi-millionaire. That was never in my mind. Honestly, never. I just wanted to do whatever the fuck I want every single day, when I want and how I wanted it. I didn't want anybody to judge me or anybody to tell me, Faruk, you need to do this. I was just locked up in a cage in my whole life, and I didn't want to do that. You know, I wanted to also take care of my loved ones, help my parents. And that is what this product, this is, what it started with. And it's not that I was reading books or something. Sometimes I was watching some motivation videos, but it was just really my internal mindset inside me. Like my brain was telling me, you have to keep on pushing. There's something better out there. It is out there. You just got to keep on going, which I did, you know. I had also some setbacks, right, in the last couple of years. A lot of them where I just maybe kept on working less. I also got complacent. But after like 6 years in the game and doing over $30 million in revenue and just drop shipping only, I'm right now running some other businesses as well. But e-commerce dropshipping is still the main one. I mean, maybe even next month or maybe even tomorrow I'll get a crazy setback again. But I just know I'm ready for it. You know, I went through so much. Unless you're going to die or unless you're going to go into jail, like you do something illegal, you can hit everything. Everything you can take a hit in life. It's totally fine. You can make a comeback. So, all right, guys. So what I exactly did was we had a general store in the Dutch market, and we will test 50 euros a day as a testing campaign with Facebook ads. So 50 euros, I had, I think 3 or 4 ad sets. I can't even remember. Some interests, like no interest targeting or something back then, because the Facebook algorithm wasn't as smart as it is right now. These days, you don't even need any interest targeting a lot of times, to be honest, unless you go very niche. And I had just only one ad, which was the one of the competitor. And I was like, yeah, let's just run it up. And it went good. I changed the offer a bit. I started scaling. I was just duplicating the campaign in Facebook ads every single time with a higher budget and going and duplicating and going. And then before you know it, I was making like 2K profit a day. And I was very content with it. And I had, even when I was scaling like that, I had still this mindset in my head. Hey, maybe I should start testing now more products. So if I have more products, what can happen? I can make even more money at the same time. I didn't have that mindset anymore. So in the beginning, I didn't have it. Why? Because why? My cash flow wasn't there. Because in the beginning, when you get your first 1, 2, or 3 winning products, let's say, you can start and keep on testing more and more products. It's fine. But if you have not so much money, you can better just focus on that specific product, because if you're testing all those other products as well, it's going to take you a lot of money. If you already have something that's working, it's proven, focus on that. Get and source for yourself new creatives. There's so many ways out there. In 2025, you can just source new creatives or make them yourself as well. Image ads, video ads, and scale that motherfucker first. And then later again, go to more products. If you have the cash flow for it, of course, test 5, 10, 20, 30 products every single day. That's what we do right now, of course, right? Because our liquid in dollars is, of course, way better than it used to be 6 years ago. So what I did from that general store, the product that was working, I made on the side also a one product store, because one of my friends told me, Faruk, now you have to dominate the whole market, because everybody's now going to see your product, that you're running it, you're scaling it, squeeze everything out of it as soon as possible before it gets saturated. So I made a one product store. I tried the same creative again on that new store and it flopped. I was like, fuck, I made this whole store for nothing. So what did I do? I was like, I'm not making so much money right now. I have maybe like 10K in my bank account. So what I just did, I just looked for new creatives online, because I watched a bunch of YouTube videos and everybody was saying in videos like, hey, If you have ad fatigue, your ads don't work anymore, or your ROAS is dropping, you need new creatives. Just change the offer or something's not gonna work. And they also said like, hey, and because I was just listening to one guy, which was Vermico. This is what I recommend to all of you. Like if you're watching my videos right now, don't go around and watch more videos. Maybe look at one more guy, maybe one more, but just follow one person. If you're following my YouTube channel, thank you, really appreciate it. Of course, I'm gonna help you make a bunch of money, but don't go around as well then and watch those other people. If you're looking at somebody else as well right now and it's working for you, bro, you don't even need to watch my videos. If you watch it for some mindset, totally fine. But if his strategies are working for you, keep on doing that. Follow that guy, and then maybe as well later you can again watch what I do. That is what I would recommend you to do, to be honest. You know, maybe I'm even shooting myself in the leg here. It's totally fine, right? But that is what I did. I just followed one guy, which I knew is right now making money with e-com. You know, because now you can go around and watch all these gurus, but which one of them is actually right now making money with e-com? You don't know it. You know, there's not so many people as well, to be honest, like me out in the game. One of the reasons why I started YouTube is to actually provide people with value, with shit that works for me right now, right? The way recent works right now, and show it to others so I can also help them make more money. That's just what I'm doing. You know, I'm already making money with e-com. Why not as well make even more money with teaching as well to others what works for me, you know? That is probably as well why in my group in Ecosphere there's so many wins out there. Bro, I have so many interviews I did with some people who we also helped scale to as well to 7 figures, 6-7 figures in revenue. Absolutely insane, bro. So and then what happened, I made the one product store, I started testing more creatives, and finally out of the 40 or 50 creatives I tested, one of them worked. And I scaled that motherfucker as well in the Dutch market. Insanely. One mistake I did make is I wasn't expanding quick enough to other markets, because by the time I tried to go to other markets, so make a specific store for France, make a specific store for Sweden, make a specific store for Germany, whatever, I was too late. Other people took my creatives, my whole package, and they scaled shit out of it even before me. Just for your information, guys, this was no random organic dropshipping, no TikTok, Pinterest, Google, no. Straight Shopify and Facebook ads. So, and then I scaled the store as well, and by the time of that product was going totally viral in the Netherlands. I asked one of my co-workers, like, yo, man, because he was working on renovating his home, and I told him, hey, bro, I said, maybe like a contour duplicator, I said, in Dutch can help you a lot. I've seen this video on Facebook, ads going viral, you know, and this guy doesn't know I'm dropshipping, by the way. Nobody in the office knows I'm dropshipping, because at this point, I'm making their multi-salary every single day, you know. So, and he's like, yeah, man, I saw it on Facebook, but no, I don't really need it. And then like I told him, hey, bro, you can check out this website. You know, I said my store name. He was like, yeah, I've seen it, but I'll check later, you know. And then sadly, he didn't buy from my shop. He probably should have, so I would have made even more money. Anyway, so I kept scaling and scaling. Then before you know it, I had over 100k euros net profit in my bank account. And I was like, bro, what the hell even is this? And just so you know it, during this whole meanwhile, you know, like all types of shit were happening. So I find this product. I wasn't sourcing from AliExpress, of course. I had a Chinese supplier agent. So that's basically an agent is like a guy in China who goes to all different manufacturers and warehouses where he can find that product for you for the best price. And he sources it for you. So you connect him to your Shopify store. He sees the orders and he sends them out immediately to the end consumer. So you just gotta find a product, make sales with it, and he will arrange it all for you. And that's how you make profit. But now you might say, Faruk, if you tested all those hundreds of products, why did you end up making this product work? How? I can tell you. I found the sweet spot of doing as less as possible and making as much money as possible. Number one, copy somebody one-on-one from the US. Don't even put a logo on your ad. Don't even change or put subtitles on your ad. Do nothing. Download the video, upload it to Facebook ads. For the product description, the same, right? One of the things also a lot of people were doing back then is for the general stores or for the customer support, they would hire native people working there. Let's say you're selling in the Netherlands, they would hire Dutch customer support agents, but they were really expensive. They were asking like $8 or $10 per hour. Well, my customer support people, I just hired them from India and I told them to translate everything to Dutch and I was paying them $3 per hour. So I would save a bunch of more money. I had higher profits so I could spend more on ads and I could outscale my competitor. This is some small things that I was doing that was different than other people. Did somebody ever explain this to me? No. I just fucked around, I kept trying, and I found that, right? So you're watching this so you can learn from it. And now it's not that easy anymore, 2025, you know? And maybe now I'm like saying, oh, it was easy, but back then in 2025, also people didn't know it was working like this, you know? So now it's a different way that you have to do. You gotta now change some more stuff. If you're lucky, you can still get away with this type of stuff, but back then we would run regular general stores and we just had random product pages. Right now, we just run fashion, right? For a beginner, we just run fashion. If you want to go to the high level, more marketing and dropshipping or branding, maybe you could say that's like a whole different story. But I'm not going to talk about that, because your first 100K in profit, the easiest way in 2025 is just selling fashion. So what I would recommend to you, like the best thing to do for you in 2025 is fashion. And I'm going to get into it more in this video. So this is, for example, a screenshot from my payment process where it said in Dutch this month, 150K euros. That was beautiful. Now this is a video of me in 2020 in the morning. Yeah, that's diabolical, bro. What was I even doing? Yeah, I was enjoying the espresso. But that was me every single morning before going to work. What is this? Yeah, and this is, by the way, a crazy video, guys. Here, it's my brother. And he is... Yeah, so what's basically going on in here, guys, when we ran our first store, my brother and I, we were running ads and we were losing hundreds of euros every single day. And then I was like, bro, we're losing so much money. I never lost so much money in my life. What are we doing? And then we were running ads, and then one customer finally added the product to the cart, went to the checkout, and dropped off. And after 10 minutes, that thing was gone from Shopify, you know? And I was like, damn, what is this? And my brother got so pissed and so disappointed. He was like, bro, we should call the customer. Because on Shopify, you can see the phone number, right? So what does he do? He takes his phone and he puts the number. He calls the customer. The customer's like, hey, who's this? Hey, it's me from this company. I'm the customer support from this company. Yeah, I just saw you dropped off, and we just wanted to say that we decided to give you a 20% discount because you're the 100th potential customer of the day. And the customer was like, oh shit, very nice, what's the code? So, and then my brother looked at me and I was like, oh shit, you know. So I went directly into my laptop. I made quickly a 20% discount code with the name of the customer, 20, I think Bart 20 or something, and he told it to him, and then he bought it. And you know what the amount is? 34.95 euro. So we were that broke and that hungry. For 34.95, we were breaking our asses, and our profit on that sale probably was 10 euros without tax. So maybe even make it 7 or 8 euros. That is how hungry we were. That is how badly we wanted it. This is why I say in all of my videos always, it's not about motivation, it's not about discipline. The only real thing is about like how bad do you want it. And we were hungry. Don't get me wrong, we still are. But the hungriness you have here, because here it's about you're either gonna go broke or you're gonna survive, right? Not even about becoming rich, but it's just surviving. That is a different type of hunger I'll never have in my life again. And honestly, I miss it sometimes. Sometimes I on purpose spend money on stupid shit nowadays, like buying an 80K watch I did for my brother the other day, just to push myself a little bit more, maybe, to see my bank account go a little bit more less, that I get more, maybe more hungry, that I should make more money and make it back as soon as possible. But I don't get it anymore, sadly. You know, I mean, I'm still banging work around this time, but this type of hunger you will never see again, and I really miss those times. I honestly do. It's so different. Like right now I'm living here in Dubai. I moved here about 4 years ago. So it's way different right now. That is the game, you know, right? It changes. It changes. And it's a beautiful video, man. Like my brother's going crazy. Look at him. And I mean, if you just look here on IG at Fatih Ilkan, you will see his IG as well, how he looks right now. But this is so much different. Trenches mode, bro. Trenches mode. And now check this also, guys. This was the interests I was targeting. I made some screenshots. of my ads manager. Insane, bro. And now this is also funny. So after I had my first 100k profit in my bank account, or 120, I bought with my brother our first proper car for 50k euros, which was an Audi A6. I'm feeling like the man over here. Look at my glasses. These are glasses I bought for 10 euros on AliExpress, by the way. And no, I'm not wearing a Rolex here. This watch looks like a Rolex, but it's worth 200 euros. So look how happy my brother is. We bought this car cash, 50k euros. Why did we didn't really even need a crazy car, but we still did it. Yeah, I don't know what the fuck this is. Was I eating this shit back then? This doesn't look like my kitchen back in the Netherlands. And now, what would I recommend you to do right now in 2025 and also 2026? Basically run fashion stores. So the regular type of general dropshipping I was doing back then, where you just literally random copy paste something from the US and you sell in the EU, it doesn't work anymore like that. You gotta go more specific now. In a niche, in specific fashion that works the best for us, and then in specific also sub niches within fashion. So what I want you to do right now is watch this free course right now. It's 6+ hours, right? So I explain literally in detail how we can do it right now in 2025 as well. But to make it more tangible for you as well, this is what type of products we're selling nowadays. This is a store called bravery.com. Very simple ad copy. You go into the ad and you come to a store which looks very branded. It looks literally branded and looks like a real store, right? And if you're watching this, you probably think, the dropshipping, normal general fashion, or this niche store dropshipping doesn't work anymore. You have to make it branded. I mean, I should probably call my shit as well branded dropshipping. I don't really call it like that, but I should probably as well call it, because in the way that we run also very similar store to this, is this looks so clean, and it looks, and you also the name they gave it, Bravery, instead of just a random name. This looks like a real store, a real brand. Look, they even made this fake AI image here, giving very clear guarantees. It's way more trustworthy than most other random general stores you see online, and they just focus on one niche, and they're feeding their Facebook ad account that pixel only with one type of niche as well. And if you look also to their ads, it looks very clean, looks very branded, no crazy 10 different colors and logos out there. It's very consistent, and this is how you should as well run your Shopify dropshipping stores. They are just literally finding random products from China and they're just running with Facebook ads on it. If you even go with Google Lens on this product, for example, here, Temu, even more UK stores also sell this. Very simple, just literally from China. It's nothing crazy. And look guys, the truth is, like for real, your first winner, it doesn't come from luck. It comes from the process. From the process of just going and going and going. And I think the biggest skill that as well to this day that I created in this one meanwhile isn't really only the skills I made in terms of e-com and the instinct I created. It's literally just the mindset of myself that I know it doesn't matter what the fuck is going on right now. I'm just gonna make it. I'm gonna do it, right? I don't care how long it will take, how much money I will spend. If I want it and I know the end, or for the long term as well, I will do it. Things that are very easy, and let me tell you something. If a specific business or something in life you're gonna do, if it's easy to do, if it's very easy to enter and do it, it's gonna give you a bunch of headache in the long term. If it's very hard to enter and hard to do it, you're gonna have a way easier life. And the whole business is gonna be way easier and way more fruitful. Delayed gratification. I don't know, you've seen it in as well probably hundreds of videos, but delayed gratification, I mean, yeah, I'm also the real life example of it at this point. Very simple, guys. We just find these type of products, right? And we use the spy tool right now. And in terms of finding winning products, I don't use a random spy tool I had back in the days. Nowadays, we use dropshipping.io, where we find competitors, and all those competitors, very simple. We look at them in Facebook Ads Library, we spy on them, and then the ones what we believe are interesting and fits our criteria, we then sell them in different markets. In Netherlands, in Germany, we also sell even in the big 5 US market as well nowadays, but which I will obviously only recommend to people who are more advanced, right? who have at least 30 to 40K in their bank account. And after that, when you find it, you go to Canva AI, you change the image background of your competitors, and then you run it up on Facebook ads. You make ChatGPT prompts as well, and you ask them what is a nice ad copy for the specific product and the image you just uploaded, and tell ChatGPT what you exactly want to do with this product, which is sell them on Facebook ads, of course, and find your audience avatar, and based on that, run your ads with Facebook ads, keep on testing products, switch markets. If you tested more than 100 products in a market and you still have no winner and it's still unprofitable, you switch to another market, and you keep on repeating this process over and over and over again. As I said, watch my 6-hour free course, everything in detail from opening your company to all the way you find your winning product and hiring, even scaling your team to 30 team members, right, to over 7 figures. Everything's explained there, right? So yeah, guys, this was pretty much it. This is why I found my first winning product. Absolutely random, crazy story. This whole process, which I've done, I've helped as well hundreds of people as well doing the same shit, literally. And that's one of the things I like doing. Besides running my own stores, which gets boring at times, I also enjoy now teaching people as well how to get to that level. Whether it's like scaling to their first 100K in revenue, whether it's scaling to $1 million a month. That's what I also help people with. So check out the link in the description for our mentorship. The link, you click on it, it's a type form. If you're serious, apply. If not, bro, keep on watching my videos. I mean, it's okay, right? Somebody else will probably as well take your spot, and I will help him scale as well way harder than you do probably. You know, we can take a limited amount of people as well for a one-on-one mentorship. Spots are always limited. There's no scarcity, guys. We don't have unlimited coaches in our company. So yeah, that's pretty much it, guys. Hope you enjoyed, and see you in the next video.